The sky over Vega Station turned dark too quickly. It wasn't nightfall. It was war. Explosions tore across the outer hulls of the orbital towers. Sirens wailed. Civilians ran for shelter. The peace conference between humans and Zalarians had ended in fire. Special Agent Cole Varen moved like a shadow through the chaos. His armor glowed faintly at the joints, silent and sleek. He wasn't here to fight. He was here to retrieve the Omega Core. That device, if activated, could destroy a planet in one blast. It had gone missing during the attack. Worse, both humans and Zalarians blamed each other for its theft. Cole knew better. He had intercepted a whisper. Someone else wanted to use it. Someone hidden. And now, someone else was hunting for it too. Across the station's burning walkway, an alien figure emerged from the smoke. Tall, graceful, with sleek white armor that wrapped around her body like living metal. Her eyes glowed gold and her movement was silent. She wasn't running from the war. She was walking through it. Cole froze. He knew her face from mission files. Kailari Vin, the best spy in the Zalarian Empire. Deadly, untraceable, and last seen near stolen human weapons labs. She stopped only a few feet away from him. The heat from a nearby fire lit her smooth alien features. Her gaze met his without fear. "You're here for the same thing," she said quietly. Cole didn't answer. He reached for the weapon at his side but didn't draw it. "If you fire," she said calmly, "we'll both lose. The core is not in either of our hands yet." He hesitated. His orders were clear. Any Zalarian agent spotted near the core must be eliminated. But she wasn't attacking. And she didn't run. Another explosion shook the walkway beneath them. The support beams groaned. A transport ship in the docking bay ignited and fell, smashing into the lower levels of the station. The blast knocked both of them back. Cole slammed into a wall. His visor cracked. Kailari's armor took the brunt of the impact, but she staggered, through. Blurred vision, Cole saw her get up first. She extended a hand. "I know where they took it," she said, "but I can't get there alone." "Why should I trust you?" Cole grunted, brushing off sparks. "You shouldn't," she replied. "But if you don't, we both fail. And your Earth might not be here tomorrow." Cole's muscles tensed. Everything in his training screamed no. But something in her eyes wasn't lying. Not now. Not with the fire burning around them and innocent lives caught in the middle. He took her hand. They moved together through the ruins of the diplomatic wing. They dodged falling beams, crossed half-collapsed corridors, and avoided combat drones still targeting anything that moved. She knew shortcuts. He had the tech to break locks and override systems. Together they moved like they had trained for this all their lives. "I saw who took it," Kailari said as they climbed into a broken maintenance shaft. "A third party. Not human, not Zalarian." "That narrows it down to half the galaxy," Cole muttered. "Worse," she added. "They don't want to use the device for war, they want to erase us both." Cole looked at her. For the first time he saw fear behind her golden eyes. They reached a secure vault on the lower deck. The door was already open. Inside, lights flickered and walls were scorched. Whoever came for the core had already been here, and they left, nothing behind. Kailari stepped inside slowly. She picked up a torn piece of metal from the ground, still warm. Her fingers trembled for a moment. "They've activated it," she said. Cole's jaw clenched. They were already too late. But then he noticed something behind the scorched wall. A trail. Footprints. Heavy ones. Leading deeper into the tunnels. "We still have a chance," he said, and without waiting, he followed the trail. The tunnel grew, darker as they followed the footprints. Cole activated the light on his gauntlet. The beam flicked across twisted wires, broken panels, and walls stained with soot. Kailari moved ahead of him, silent and sharp, like she could hear vibrations in the metal itself. "We're under Sector 12 now," she said. "That area was shut down after the last border conflict. No security left, no cameras. No rules either," Cole muttered. They stopped at a junction. The footprints split. One path curved toward a fuel station. The other led down into a Data core vault long abandoned. They wouldn't risk fuel, Cole said. Too unstable. The other path is safer. For who? Kalari asked. For them or for us? Cole looked at her and then turned without answering. She followed. As they walked, the air got colder. Steam hissed from cracks in the wall. Loose cables hung like vines, swaying with every tremor above. The sound of distant fighting still echoed through the structure, but down here, it was quiet. Too quiet. Kalari moved beside Cole and glanced at his damaged visor. Your HUD is fried, she said. I'll guide. He didn't protest. She raised her hand and traced her fingers across the wall. A thin line of glowing script appeared, alien symbols lighting up as she passed. Secret markers only a spy would know. You left these? Cole asked. No, she said. These are new. She paused at the last symbol. Her face turned tense. This one means trap. Before she could finish, the floor under them gave way. They fell into a lower chamber, crashing through a weak metal grate. Cole landed hard on his back, and Kalari rolled beside him. A flash of energy burst around them. Then the trap triggered. Spinning, drones rose from the floor, surrounding them in a perfect circle. Blue beams flickered across the room. Targeting locks. Don't move, Kalari whispered. I wasn't planning to, Cole said, frozen. A low hum vibrated through the air as the drone scanned them. Red lights blinked. One beeped sharply. A voice spoke in a garbled, unfamiliar language. Kalari's eyes widened. What did it say? Cole asked. It recognized you, she said. Human DNA, Death Worlder class. The drones didn't shoot. Instead, the lights dimmed and the machines drifted back into the ceiling. The trap reset. Cole stood slowly. Why did they scan us and not attack? They're not just guards, Kalari said. They're testers, measuring threat level. And I passed? He asked. You scared them, she said. Congratulations. He couldn't tell if she was joking. Her voice was steady, but her eyes studied him longer than before. They found another door, older and rusted shut. Cole reached for his tools, but Kalari placed her palm against a panel. A beam of light scanned. Her hand. The door groaned and opened. That's Zalarian tech, Cole said. The ones who stole the core are using both human and Zalarian systems, she replied. They want us to think it's each other. Inside was a lab. Broken screens, shattered containers. A smell like burned chemicals and ozone. And at the center, a glowing map of star systems. One system pulsed in red. Cole stepped closer. That's not Earth. Kalari stared. No, that's Alaris, my homeworld. They stared at the map in silence. The core had a destination now. Someone planned to test it. Why would they target your planet? Cole asked. She didn't answer right away. Her hand trembled slightly at her side. Because I failed them, she said, and someone wants to remind me. Cole turned toward her. We need to stop them. But I don't have a ship. Kalari looked up slowly. I do. Their eyes met, and something changed between them. No longer just enemies. No longer just agents on opposite sides. The line was blurring. Without another word, they left the lab and moved fast. They had a course. They had a reason. And for the first time, they had each other. Kalari's ship was nothing like Cole expected. Sleek, black and shaped like a serpent's fang, it clung to the underside of the station like it had grown there. The hull shimmered with alien code, and its engines pulsed a soft blue light. It looked alive. This is yours? Cole asked, scanning it with cautious eyes. Custom made, she replied. Fast, quiet, and impossible to track. The boarding ramp opened with a hiss. Cole followed her inside. The air smelled of ozone and metal. The walls were curved and smooth, glowing faintly. It was a mix of biotech and machinery, unlike any human ship he had ever seen. This thing runs without crew? He asked. It responds to thought, she said. And I don't like noise. Cole strapped himself into a seat beside her. She placed her hands on two glowing panels, and the ship purred to life. Outside, the burning chaos of Vega Station shrank behind them. Within seconds, they shot into the stars. The moment the stars stretched into star lines, Kalari let out a long breath. "We'll reach Alaris in 6 hours," she said. "Faster if we use the Black Corridor routes." "Illegal lanes?" Cole asked. She turned toward him. "Do you care?" He didn't. Not anymore. As the ship glided through space, they sat in silence. Cole kept watching her from the corner of his eye. She was focused, controlled. But there was something different now. Less tension, less coldness. "You said you failed them," he said finally. "Your people. What happened?" She didn't look at him right away. "I warned them about the hidden factions," she said. "Groups that profit from war. Ones that feed on fear. They ignored me. When the Omega Core was first developed, I tried to stop the project. I thought I succeeded. But someone finished it anyway," Cole said. "Yes," she replied softly. "And now they're using it as a message. To punish me. To punish Alaris. And if that happens, your Earth won't be far behind." Cole leaned back. "You weren't the enemy I trained for. And you're not the monster I expected," she said. Silence returned, but it was no longer heavy. It was calm. Suddenly, alarms rang out through the ship. Kalari snapped forward. "Something's tracking us." Cole jumped up. "What kind of something?" Kalari pulled up the display. A dark object appeared behind them on the scanner. No engine trail, no communication signal. "It's a shadow ship," she whispered. Cole narrowed his eyes. "I've heard of them. No one sees them twice." Kalari's fingers danced across the controls. The ship swerved, dipped, and accelerated, but the shadow didn't fall behind. "It's locking on," she said. "Fire back," Cole growled. "Weapons are offline," she replied. This ship wasn't built for combat. The shadow ship grew closer. Cole could see it now, a jagged silhouette like a broken dagger drifting through space. "Brace yourself," Kalari shouted. A blast shook the ship. Sparks flew from the walls. Cole hit the floor hard. Lights flickered. The navigation screen went dark. "We're hit," she said. "We're dropping out." The stars twisted violently as they were pulled from star lines. The ship tumbled through. Unknown space, then steadied. Systems restarted slowly. Smoke drifted from a panel. Kalari pulled herself back into the pilot's seat. "We're alive," she said. Cole stood up slowly. "And the shadow ship?" She checked the scanner. "Gone. For now." Cole looked out the viewing port. A red giant star glowed nearby, bathing a barren asteroid field in harsh orange light. They weren't near Alaris anymore. "Where are we?" he asked. Kalari frowned. "Nowhere safe." He moved closer to her. "They knew we were coming. That means someone on the inside fed them our route." She didn't argue. She looked down and her voice dropped. "There's someone in my ranks, feeding the ones who stole the core." Cole stared at her. "Then we don't just have to stop a weapon," he said. "We have to expose a traitor." The asteroid field was cold and silent, a graveyard of rock and forgotten metal. Kalari guided the ship into a narrow space between two jagged boulders. The ship's engines dimmed to a low hum and the lights inside turned blue. Stealth mode. Cole leaned over her shoulder. "Are we hiding or hunting?" "Both," she said. "I had a relay post here long ago, before I went. Dark." They put on gear and exited the ship through the belly hatch. Magnetic boots clicked to the rocky surface. The gravity was weak, the air non-existent, but the old relay station still clung to the side of a large asteroid. It was rusted and half buried, in ice. Kalari reached a hidden panel and pressed her fingers into it. A pulse of light moved along the door and it slid open with a creak. The inside was dusty and dim. Lights flickered weakly, struggling to wake up after years of silence. Cole stepped inside, his hand on his weapon. "Why here?" "This relay collected intelligence from 3 factions," she said. "I used it to track secret movements. Messages sent off the record. If the traitor used one of my old channels, it might still be logged." They moved deeper, into the small outpost. Kailari wiped frost from a console and connected her neural band to it. Streams of alien symbols flashed across the screen. Her eyes scanned fast, too fast for Cole to follow. He paced the room while she worked. Dust floated, in the air. The silence made him uneasy. His instincts screamed this was more than a data search. Kailari suddenly stiffened. Her hand stopped. "What is it?" Cole asked. She pointed to the screen. A transmission had been decrypted. It wasn't long, but it was clear. Coordinates, a voice command, and a familiar code signature. "This came from the Council's security branch," she said. "One of my own handlers. Someone close to you sent those coordinates to the shadow ship," Cole said. She nodded slowly. "They planned to kill us before we reached Alaris. They want to control the core themselves." Cole stepped beside her. "Why would your own people betray you?" Kailari looked tired. "Because I asked too many questions because I wanted peace." The screen pulsed again. A new alert flashed. Kailari leaned in. Her eyes widened. "They're moving the core," she said. "Right now, it's not on Alaris anymore. They're heading to a neutral system, the Galactic Exchange Hub." Cole's brow furrowed. "That's a populated station, full of civilians." Kailari's voice turned sharp. "And full of politicians, traitors and scientists, all from different species. If the core detonates there, the whole galaxy will blame each other." He understood. "They want to restart the war." "We don't have much time," she said. They rushed back to the ship. As they flew from the asteroid field, Kailari punched in the new coordinates. Cole looked at her as the ship jumped back into hyperspace. "You didn't have to show me that," he said. She looked at him. "You could have hidden the betrayal. I would have never known." "I didn't want to," she said softly. He nodded. "I believe you now." She glanced at him, and this time, her face softened. No spy mask, no agent's coldness. Just a person who had lost trust in her own people and found it again in someone unexpected. "I don't know what happens next," she said. Cole leaned forward. "Then we make it up as we go." The ship sped toward the galactic hub, stars twisting around them. They didn't speak again for a while, but something between them had changed. Not just allies, not just survivors. They were choosing to trust each other, even in a galaxy that had taught them not to. The Galactic Exchange Hub floated like a silver jewel in space. Massive and alive, the station was home to thousands of species, each corridor pulsing with color, light, and voices from every corner of the galaxy. Ships of every design docked and departed in a steady rhythm. The station wasn't built for war. It was built for trade, peace, and diplomacy. That made it the perfect target. Kailari's ship docked in the lower tier. The moment the hatch opened, Cole's instincts kicked in. Too quiet. The nearby platforms were almost empty. No traffic, no workers, just cold metal and strange silence. "They already cleared the area," he said, "or scared everyone away." Kailari nodded. "They know we're coming." They moved quickly, blending into shadows and service tunnels. Cole had memorized parts of the hub's layout during a past mission, and Kailari filled in what he didn't know. They avoided scanners and patrol drones, using her spy tech to disable sensors as they passed. The trail led them toward the central tower. That was where dignitaries held meetings, where galaxy-shaping deals were made, and where, right now, the Omega core was being smuggled toward the reactor systems deep below the station. "Why there?" Cole asked as they ducked behind a fuel tank. Kailari's voice was low. "The main reactor connects to the station's gravity and life support. If they power the core there, it could vaporize the entire structure." Cole checked his weapon. "We're running out of time." They moved through the last hallway toward the reactor control zone. 2 guards in black armor blocked the door. Neither looked like standard security. Kailari recognized the markings. Mercenaries, paid by someone with deep credits. Cole took one side, Kailari took the other. They moved fast. Cole dropped his target with a short blast to the chest. Kailari struck like lightning, her blade flashing once before her enemy dropped without a sound. They reached the control door. Kailari tapped into the lock system, bypassing the encryption. The door slid open. Inside, the room pulsed with dim orange light. A massive core reactor towered in the center, cables running through the floor like veins, and near the base, surrounded by armored figures, stood a black metal case, the Omega Core. Cole raised his weapon, but Kailari held out a hand. Wait. One of the armored figures stepped forward and removed his helmet. Cole recognized the face. Instantly. General Arvon, he said through clenched teeth. You were declared dead 3 years ago, the general smiled. Death is a useful cover when planning something bold. Kailari stepped beside Cole. Her voice was cold. You're the traitor. The voice from the relay, it was you. Of course it was me, Arvon said. I tried to bring unity once. Through peace. No one listened. So now, we bring unity through fear. You'll kill thousands, Cole said. Maybe millions. Arvon spread his arms. And from those ashes the galaxy will finally listen. Cole was done talking. He opened fire. The room exploded into chaos. Kailari moved like liquid, dancing between blasts, her blades finding gaps in the armor. Cole stayed low, his shots precise and brutal. One by one, the mercenaries dropped. But Arvon was fast. Too fast. He reached the core and pressed a device into its surface. A countdown appeared in alien numbers. Kailari lunged for him, but he struck her with a hidden energy pulse. She fell hard. Cole fired again, forcing Arvon to retreat behind cover. The core was now active. Kailari crawled toward it, her fingers shaking. I can stop it, she gasped. But I need time. Cole took position near her and aimed at the shadows. Then I'll buy it. She looked up at him, her voice barely above a whisper. You don't have to. I want to. Their eyes met again, not as enemies or soldiers, but as something more. Then he turned to face the threat, holding the line for her. The countdown ticked loud in Kailari's ears. Alien numbers pulsed in red across the Omega Core's surface. Less than 5 minutes remained. She had stopped bombs before, hacked war drones mid-flight, and escaped prison cells light years from home. But this was different. This was designed, not just to explode but to erase. Her fingers danced across the controls on the side of the core. The device was humming now, vibrating with rising power. Every second the numbers shrank. The risk grew. One mistake, and the station would become a burning memory. Cole stood in front of her like a shield. Every time someone moved in the shadows, he fired. His aim was perfect, calm, fast, brutal. Blood and metal mixed on the floor. He didn't look tired, even though the fight had pushed him to his limits. Kailari winced as a sharp electric jolt burned her hand. The core had defenses, layers of encryption wrapped in organic code. The design wasn't purely Zellarian. And it wasn't human either. This thing is hybrid, she said out loud. Cole grunted as he knocked down another attacker. Meaning, what? Someone created this using tech from both sides, she replied. It was never meant to be controlled by one species. Can you still shut it down? Maybe, she said. If I do this wrong, it might speed up instead. Cole looked back at her. His voice was steady, but his eyes were hard. Then don't do it wrong. She almost laughed. A warning alarm shrieked overhead. Arvon had returned. He stormed from the far hallway with backup soldiers, guns blazing. Cole ducked, fired back, and rolled to cover. You think you can stop this? Arvon shouted. You're just two people against the future. Cole didn't answer. He just kept fighting. Kailari ignored the noise and the blasts around her. Her mind sank deeper into the code. Symbols swirled in front of her eyes. She didn't try to break the encryption this time. She tried to understand it. Not as a soldier, but as a builder. Whoever made this wanted it to survive, she whispered. But everything built to survive still fears the one thing. Cole glanced back. What's that? Being forgotten. She reached into her neural band and uploaded a virus. It wasn't a weapon. It was a memory. Her own. Faces, voices, songs from her childhood, images of peace talks, Laughing friends. Lost. Comrades, it poured into the core. The machine trembled. Arvon saw what she was doing. He pushed forward, firing wildly. "Stop her," he yelled. "Kill them both," Cole charged. He left his cover and met the incoming fire head-on. Bullets tore past him. One grazed his shoulder, another hit his side. He didn't stop. He crashed into Arvon like a hammer, knocking the general back with brutal force. They struggled on the floor. Arvon grabbed a blade from his belt. Cole blocked it with his forearm, gritting his teeth as the knife cut through armor. Blood ran down his arm. He struck Arvon in the face and kicked him away. The core pulsed once, twice. Then the countdown froze. 0, but no explosion came. Kalari collapsed to her knees. Her breath shook. Her hands were burned, but she smiled through the pain. "I did. It," she whispered. Cole limped toward her. He dropped beside her, bleeding but alive. Arvon lay unconscious near the wall. Kalari looked at Cole's wounds. "You're hurt." He gave a tired smile. "Worth it." Their eyes met. No words passed for a moment. Just breath. Just quiet. Just the feeling that something more had started between them, even in the middle of death and fire. "You trusted me," she said softly. "You earned it," he replied. Outside the reactor room, the station's alarms began to quiet. Emergency lights dimmed. The threat was over. But something new was beginning. Medical drones hovered over Cole, stitching the wound on his side with light-based threads. He sat quietly on the edge of a platform while security teams cleaned up the reactor room behind him. The station had gone into full lockdown the moment. The Omega Core was disarmed. Everyone knew something terrible had almost happened, even if they didn't know how close it truly came. Kalari stood nearby, her arm wrapped in a metallic healing brace. Her face was still, but her golden eyes kept drifting toward him. She hadn't left his side since they were pulled from the lower levels, no longer hiding, no longer enemies. They sat in silence, not needing to speak. A human officer approached, dressed in the formal uniform of the Earth Alliance. His face was stern. "Agent Varen," the officer said, "we've reviewed your field report. There were surprises." Cole didn't blink. "You mean the part where an enemy spy and I stopped a galactic-level disaster?" The officer didn't smile. "You disobeyed orders. You formed an alliance with a classified hostile. And you exposed secrets no one gave you permission to access." Cole stood slowly. "And if we hadn't, the Corps would have erased this station and half of Earth's leadership with it." The officer looked at Kalari. "She's not supposed to be here." "I invited her," Cole said. "She's still Zalarian. She's the reason we're alive." Kalari stepped forward. "I don't need your approval. I need your ears. There is still someone feeding this chaos, someone in high command." That made the officer pause. "You have proof?" Kalari reached into her belt and handed him a data crystal. "Names, routes, messages. The one behind this was never just General Arvon." The officer took it, glanced at Cole, then left without another word. Cole sat back down slowly. "You think they'll listen?" "They'll have to," she replied, "or they'll lose everything." Outside the med bay, the station buzzed with tension. Rumors had spread fast. Some said terrorists tried to blow up the reactor. Others whispered it was a failed assassination of the Galactic Council. No one knew the truth, and that made things more dangerous. Kalari paced the room for a moment, then turned to him. "When this is over, they'll send me back." "I know," Cole said. "They might even punish me for working with you." "They might punish me too." She stepped closer. "Then why do I care if I do?" He looked up. She was standing just close enough that he could feel her presence. She wasn't armored now. No mask, no rank. Just her. Just a woman who had risked everything for something she believed in. He reached for her hand. "Because something changed. We both felt it." She didn't pull away. "I spent my whole life following orders," she said. "Training to fight humans, hating them. Then I met one who bled to protect people who hated him back." He smiled, faintly. You were supposed to be my mission, and now I don't want to see you go. They stood there, the chaos outside forgotten for a moment. Two agents from opposite sides pulled into a bond they never expected. The kind that didn't come from duty or orders. It came from surviving together, from trusting when it was hardest. Kailari leaned in slightly, then stopped herself. If I don't leave now, I won't be able to. Cole didn't stop her. He just nodded. She turned and walked toward the exit. Before she stepped through the door, she looked back over her shoulder. Don't get killed before I return. He grinned. Only if you promise the same. She vanished into the corridor, leaving behind silence, a dark room, and a heart that suddenly felt much heavier than a mission log. 3 weeks passed. The galaxy stayed quiet, but it was the kind of quiet that felt uncertain, like a storm was still waiting far beyond the stars. Cole sat alone in a debriefing chamber on Earth. The room was clean, gray, and windowless. He had given his full report. Again. The higher-ups had reviewed the logs, reviewed his choices, and reviewed him like a machine under repair. They couldn't decide whether to thank him or punish him. In the end, they did nothing. No medal. No charge. Just silence. He walked out of the building with a small bag over his shoulder. No one saluted him. No one met his eyes. But he didn't care. The war had changed. So had he. The streets outside buzzed with noise. Civilian life moved on, unaware of how close they had come to vanishing. Cole breathed in the city air, then walked toward the nearest terminal station. He had nowhere to go. Not yet. But his instincts told him this wasn't the end. Somewhere above, stars waited, and someone with golden eyes haunted every thought. Halfway, through the plaza, he heard a sound. A low hum, not mechanical, not digital, familiar. He turned. She stood there. Kailari was dressed differently, her armor replaced with a dark travel cloak. No rank, no insignia. Just her. She held a travel chip in one hand and a quiet smile on her lips. "You're not easy to find," she said. He blinked. "You came back." "They tried to hide the truth," she said. "I made sure they didn't." "You exposed your own people?" She nodded. And others followed. Arvon wasn't the only name on the list. The ones who built the core, the ones who funded it, they were from both sides. It was never about species. It was about control. "And now?" he asked. "They're running scared. The balance has shifted. It might not be peace yet, but it's not war either." He took a step forward. "Why are you here?" Kailari looked down for a second, then back at him. "Because when I walked away, I realized something. I didn't want to go back to who I was before. I didn't want to be a tool anymore. I didn't want to forget what we fought for, and I didn't want to forget you." Cole didn't say anything right away. His chest tightened in a way that had nothing to do with injury. "You said if you didn't leave then you never would." She smiled. "I meant it." He walked toward her. They stood close now, breathing the same air, surrounded by people who didn't know what they had done for the galaxy. "What now?" he asked. Kailari raised the travel chip. "I booked passage to the outer systems. New colonies, new missions. No orders from above, no lies, just work that matters. I was hoping someone would come with me." He stared at her for a long time. Then he reached out and took the chip from her hand. "Sounds better than waiting around for another war." She laughed softly. "It's not safe out there." He shrugged. "Neither were you. That worked out. Fine." They walked together toward the departure gates. No more secrets, no more codes. Just two people who had fought across fire and betrayal and found something worth more than survival. Not peace, but hope. As their ship rose into the sky, disappearing into the stars, Earth turned slowly below. Somewhere, hidden in the crowd, someone watched them leave and made a note in a silent file. But for now they were free, and for the first time in both their lives, the future was theirs to choose.